A 42-year-old father in Georgia parked at a gas station on Labor Day and left his two sons, aged 6 and 7, alone in the car where he stored his loaded handgun. Moments later, his 7-year-old boy was dead. He has subsequently been charged in relation to the boy's death. We're not told the boy's name. The father is called Dante Lamar Doherty, and he was taken into custody early Tuesday morning, charged with 1 count of second-degree murder and 2 counts of second-degree cruelty to children in regards to the tragic shooting. So the tragic incident occurred approximately Monday at around 6:30 p.m. DeKalb County Police Department responded to a call in regards to a child being shot at a Texaco gas station 20 miles east of Atlanta. First responders reportedly found the 7-year-old victim still inside of the car, suffering a single gunshot wound to the head. Tragically, he was pronounced dead on the scene. The victim's 6-year-old brother was also in the car at the time of the fatal shooting. Investigators haven't said whether or not they believe the 7-year-old shot himself or if the 6-year-old had found the gun and shot his elder brother. What we do know is that the father, Dante Lamar Doherty, went into the gas station, leaving the firearm in the car, and that firearm, that gun, was found by the children. CCTV footage from the gas station showed the 6-year-old throwing open the passenger side back door and running from the car in the direction of a busy intersection. So we're told that essentially the 6-year-old realized what had happened, panicked and ran away. It took a few minutes for the father to get back to the vehicle, at which point tragically he found his 7-year-old son, a boy that I'm sure he very much loved, dead, or at least with a gunshot wound to the head. If not dead in that moment, then forgive me, dead shortly thereafter. When police arrived on the scene, they described Doherty as frantic and distraught. I can only imagine. I feel for him. He was absolutely in the wrong. He left a loaded gun in his vehicle when there were 2 children in the car. He did a reckless thing, but it was unintentional. The father has lost his son, and his other son is going to be emotionally distraught, psychologically traumatized, perhaps particularly if he was guilty of pulling the trigger. And I shouldn't really use the word guilty. I mean, if the 6-year-old did pull the trigger, if he did so, of course that would have just been in play. A young boy with a shiny toy, a gun, not understanding the consequences, not wishing for any ill intent, but perhaps that is the case, that the 6-year-old did pull the trigger. If that's the case, then that's going to weigh heavily on the young man moving forward. Regrettably, I'm not saying that it should, I'm just saying that it likely will. We're told a little bit about the criminal history of the father. He's previously pled guilty to charges of battery against a family member, pled guilty to disorderly conduct, as well as loitering for drugs. But if we're honest, we've seen far worse rap sheets. We don't know too much about this man. He's a messy man by the look of it. He's got a criminal history, some degree of domestic violence. We don't know the ins and outs of that, some degree of drug use, but doesn't seem to be an out-and-out hard criminal. Just a silly man who performed a neglectful act which tragically has cost the life of his son. I'm a hypocrite. I read through these articles. Sometimes I feel a certain way and sometimes I feel a different way. In this case, I feel some level of sympathy for this man, really because of the lack of intent. He didn't intend for any harm to come to his child or children. He didn't so much commit a malicious act, more of a reckless, neglectful one born out of stupidity, irresponsibility. He made a mistake, a terrible mistake which he should not have made. I'm not trying to give him a pass for the lack of gun safety, but at the same time I do feel this level of sympathy for him. I'm also going to question, is he more involved in the criminal lifestyle than his minor rap sheet leads us to believe? Why did he feel the need to have a loaded gun in his car? Well, he's in Atlanta. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to try to pretend to be an expert in all things Atlanta, but I listen to hip-hop music, and as naive as this might be, my understanding is you guys have a big crime issue, gun crime issue. You have gangs. This guy, the father, Dante Lamar Doherty, has had previous arrests in regards to drugs. Perhaps he's more involved in that than we're fully aware. Perhaps that's all academics. It's an absolute tragedy. Of course, full condolences to everybody concerned, including Dante. Again, he's lost his son, as has the mother. I'm going to wrap things up at this point. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. If you agree, disagree with my comment, please drop a note. I'll thank you for your time. Take care.